Hi guys, welcome back to another edition of this week's Weekly Report. All right guys, welcome back. Before we start, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and obviously share the video if you like it. Without further ado, let's get right into it, man, because last week was an interesting one. Here we go. Are the 1-3 Alabama Black Snakes versus the Indy 500, who sits at 2-2. This wasn't even close, folks. I am sorry to say, but Alabama Black Snake fell to Indy 500 147 to 209.90 points. Yes, well over 60 points. Sheesh, 60 points. Who was doing it for Alabama Black Snakes? Brandon Ayuk came up with a performance of 25.80 points, but that's pretty much about it, actually. And matter of fact, if you look at this, and this has been a pattern with Coach Mitchell from the Alabama Black Snakes, if he would have started Josh Dobbs instead of Etienne, who he started on his super flex, and if he would have started Nico Collins instead of any other wide receiver that he started, he would have actually won the game. Nico Collins is on his bench for the Bench MVP award with 51.8 points. And Josh Dobbs is also on his bench with 30 points. That's 81.8 points right there that he would have had he not made a bad management decision, which we've been seeing him do so far this whole season. As for Indy 500, Coach Yuri came up big. Actually, not even, came up huge this time because he blew them out. 209.90 points, that's a lot of points. Who do you have to thank for that? None other than Justin Fields. Finally, we have a Justin Fields sighting, y'all. I don't know what was going on, but the guy looked, what did they say, world beater? He looked like a world beater on Saturday. Unfortunately, they came back and lost that game, but he ended up, not until he gave Coach Yuri 45.25 points. Also, his wide receiver, DJ Moore, gave him 32.1 points, and David Montgomery gave him 39.1 points. I mean, it was pretty big blowout right there, but he has everybody to thank for it because his whole team came together and put up that big performance. Shout out to Coach Yuri. Great win. We'll see you next week when you go up against your other opponent. Folks, is the blowout of the week. Yes, you heard it here. The blowout of the week. And if I'm not mistaken, it was done by the same blowout king last week, Supreme Team. Supreme Team comes in now at a 3-1 record versus the Wall Street Window Lickers, who are now at a 1-3 record. And boy, this was bad. Supreme Team beat them 231 points, 0.1 to 129.35. God damn! He killed them. I mean, I really don't know. AJ Brown gave him 54.5 points. On the other side, Wall Street Window Lickers, well, they licking windows like a motherfucker because they're definitely not playing fantasy. With a 1-3 record and a score of 129.35, they sit as the last place team with the lowest amount of points scored. He had 9 players on his starting lineup. 9 players that gave him a combined 46 points. Coach Busacker, how he felt about this win, since it was the 2 weeks in a row that he did blow a team out. And he was happy about his win, man. Matter of fact, I'll let him tell it to you. Coach, great win last week, Coach. Great win. You're number 1 in the standings. How do you feel?
Feel great right now, you know.
Wait, what do you mean, Coach?
Let's feel good right now. This week coming's gonna be a challenge, but we'll be all right.
Opponent for last week. You were the blowout of the week.
I had an opponent.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, listen, I don't want to be that way.
Say that again?
It was a tough one, you know. Who did I play?
Oh my
I played
God.
Zach. I played Zach.
Oh my
So
God.
you're saying the window
Last
lickers are
finale.
still licking windows?
You said it, Junior.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Yep, you got it.
A proud papa right there, boy. That's a proud papa. But I can sense a little bit of a worriness in his voice here. We'll probably touch on that later on. The next game we're gonna go to is Almost No McNally's versus Don Francisco. Now, yes, Don Francisco used to be She's at My House While You're at Work. They changed their name after a big win against Almost No McNally's. Now, Coach Gerard, 144.65 points to 185.05 points from Don Francisco. I mean, the guy said it. Guy called out at the draft. He said he's putting the league on notice. Josh Jacobs gave him 27.90 points. Isaiah Pacheco gave the man 33.80 points. I mean, with that type of output from 3 or 4, and then the rest of his team also blew up. It was nothing. He couldn't do anything wrong. And he shut down Coach Gerard's statements from last week. And when we asked Coach Gerard what he thought about this week's performance, this is what he said. Tough L this week, Coach. Yeah. You talked a lot of smack against your opponent last week. How did it go?
Well, there was a lot of weight on me. I had some injuries, but I just felt the weight of the world crushing me. I tried to make some moves to help, but they all sucked.
Coach Gerard is still talking trash, and I'm here for it. That's all I gotta say. I'm here for it. I mean, the man. I don't know. But I'm here for it. I like it. All right, next game we're gonna talk about another blowout, folks. Another blowout. And the person on the butt end of this blowout was once again our defending champion, Coach Barrick from the playoffs team. Playoffs sitting right now at 1-3 record, lost 148.05 points to Chickenville Chickies with a 2-2 record and a score of 206.20. Again, almost a 60-point loss. A 60-point loss here. I don't know how you come back from it. And when we asked Coach Barrick about what happened, this is what he had to say. 60-point loss last week, Coach. Yeah, I'm sure that's how you feel, Coach. I'm sure
Next window, please.
Coach, what happened, Coach?
Well, like the New York Giants, we just didn't show up.
Yeah. You both share the same record now, 1-3.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So can actually get a win.
Any predictions for next week?
No. We're gonna have a closed office meeting.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There's gonna be a lot of shit that can't be heard. Don't call your parents. They're staying overnight.
As for Chickenville Chickies and his 206.2 points, you know who did it? Puka Nakua. This man is crazy. 43.3 points from Puka Nakua. On top of that, he had Anthony Richardson with 35.6 points. And then his 3 defensive players combined for 54 points. When you get your 3 defensive players that combine for 54 points, you're probably going to win. And that's what happened here with Coach Louie and the Chickenville Chickies. For the next game we're going to talk about is the nail biter of the week. Yes, the nail biter of the week. El Cunado, who now sits at 2-2, went up against the Assassins, who also now sit at 2-2. But El Cunado came away with the win with a 164.95 to 160.95. 4 points. My man won by 4 points, and it was all on the back of Christian McCaffrey. Let's hear what Coach Lewis had to say about it. By the hairs of your chinny chin chin, you pulled out a win.
I got this, son. I won by this, son. 4 points. Bruce, you ain't shit. Yeah, man. McCaffrey gave him 53
53.7 points. God damn, 53 points. Remember the last team I said his 3 defensive players give him 54? Well, he had that with 1 player. McCaffrey, MVP of the league so far, bars not, hands down. As for the Assassins, listen, tough break, tough luck. He has a decent team. Lamar Jackson gave him 34 points. Brian Robinson gave him 23 points. But then left Jahan Dotson on the bench with 12.7 points. He left Breece Hall on the bench. He left Zay Flowers on the bench. If he would have started any one of those 3 players instead of the ones he did start, he would have won the game by about 5 points. And then last but not least, we've got yours truly. And I wish I was coming here to tell you that I'm still the undefeated champ. I'm still the only undefeated team. But unfortunately, 2-minute drilling your mom team, who now sits at 3-1, went up against Steel City, who also now sits at 3-1. And Steel City just pretty much gave me a lumping that I don't want to really think about anymore. 2-minute drilling your mom team was defeated 167.45 to 202.25. Josh Allen went off 56.70 points. At the beginning, it was okay because he was throwing it to Diggs and I was getting the points, but then he went off by himself and he hit me up with a 56.70 points. And then Derrick Henry came in with 31.40 points. And like I said for the last match, if you have one player that gives you 50 points, you're pretty much a sure to win. And that's what happened here. Great game, Steel City. We'll see you again sometime later on in the week. Fucker. I'm not going to forget this shit. Thanks again for joining us one more time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And please share the video if you like it. It really does go a long way to help out the channel. Appreciate y'all. Deuces!